in terms of what you need to do as a player. And so you take a look overall, and you see Raina. He's got good stats. Of course, you mentioned the 14 passing touchdowns earlier on, and he's a guy that likes to sling the ball. But everything is harder when you have pressure in your face. Everything's harder when your brain's going at 100 miles per hour, and that's exactly where they've got to put him because it's known, right? Beforehand, they had a dual threat quarterback, Raina more of a passer, and if you take away that opportunity for him to use his legs, well, then maybe you got him pinned.
Well, certainly so. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear from our sponsors, and we'll get to our recognition on the radio show. We'll be right back after this break.
Ike's Chili House Studios. Broadcasting from the Blitz 1170 Ike's Chili House Studios. KTSA, KHTT HD2 Muskogee, a Griffin media station.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with SafeLight. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on
Get ready for some hard-hitting indoor football action with the Tulsa Oilers. Don't miss the excitement at the BOK Center on Saturday, May 13th at 7:05 as the Tulsa Oilers take on the Frisco Fighters. Whether you're a diehard football fan or just looking for a thrilling night out, the Tulsa Oilers have got you covered. And with season tickets starting at just $9 per month, there's no excuse not to come out and support your team. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of Tulsa Oilers football.
Here at the BOK Center before what is the second ever home game in franchise history for your Tulsa Oilers, as we thank you for joining us here on the pregame show as we are almost wrapping that up. And we've almost got our player intros coming up. Boy, an exciting time to now see an offense, Zach, that has, well, found their way. We look at the last 3 weeks here, and really the offense has picked it up every week. 13 points in week number 1, in the IFL, that is, and then all of a sudden 54 the first time this team gets over 50 points in a game offensively. I think the first quarter, though, is what you have to tackle if you're the Oilers. It's been an abysmal first quarter over the first 4 weeks. You got to find a way to solve that and get off to a hot start.
Yeah, even the first half in general. You take a look, and this team has been a second-half team, which is obviously a good sign in terms of what you've got on the coaching staff, is they're able to make adjustments, and they're good at adjusting on the fly. But it comes down to a lot of the players. I mean, of course, besides Spinoza come in and really chucked the rock around the field last week, and hoping to see the same again this week from him. And as you mentioned, getting off to a hot start, so important. I mean, you look at the score at 30 points in that game against Iowa. It was 26-7 at one point. You really thought the game was getting out of reach. You don't want to be in that situation against a team like the Rattlers that can maybe, well, control the clock a bit more.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And I mean, honestly, this is one of the best offensives too with Arizona in the entire league. 48.8 points per game. It's just a dominant effort out of them for sure. As we look to see the Tulsa Oilers come out onto the field here in just a moment. But one thing you got to be able to staple down is the penalties for sure early in this game just as well. You get into penalty trouble, and that's when you're really going to have an issue for sure against Arizona. They're a very disciplined team under Kevin Guide, who has, well, sort of figured it out by now with year number 13 behind with Arizona. So it is certainly a packed house here as it continues to pack out just as well. We are turning it over here to what it sounds like and looks like here in the building for the player intros upcoming for the Oilers, as we've got a good one here from Tulsa tonight. It is going to be a run-heavy team in Arizona, and it's going to be a versatile offense with the Oilers. That combination, well, we'll sort of carry over to see some heroes. Let's listen in to the player intros for the Oilers as the crowd gets going.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup.
the introduction for the Tulsa Oilers as they have arrived on the field for what is moments away from kickoff for an opportunity to win game number 1 at home in particular in franchise history. As head coach Marvin Jones has had this team quite motivated this week after win number 1, it is not something that he wants this team to settle for, is a win. Last week was last week, and this week a new challenge in the Arizona Rattlers without a doubt. As this is one of the best franchises in the arena and indoor style game that you are facing, and they are coming to Tulsa for the first time here to take on this Oilers franchise. It is the second Western Conference matchup that the Oilers have seen this year, as the other Western Conference matchup was on the road against Duke City. That was a loss on the road in Duke City in the second game in franchise history. As the crowd fills in even more as we're moments away from the national anthem here in the building.
Oilers fans, please stand and remove your cover for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, performed by Abigail Cup.
Abigail Cup to perform the national anthem. A beautiful rendition of the national anthem by Abigail Cup, as the teams will go to their respective sidelines and the Harleys will roll on out. Here, a new tradition and an old tradition just as well here in Tulsa, Oklahoma for indoor and arena football. So Tulsa Talents had this same similar act back when they were a franchise, and boy, it gives you butterflies. Of course, we're used to broadcasting the Tulsa Weathers hockey games just as well in this building, and there's nothing like early on in the season just sort of getting that fresh new ice out there and a fresh new team. But now we followed this team for 4 weeks, and it just seems like it's been a while since opening night now. This team has had a lot of storylines here so far, the Tulsa Oilers have, and now they've got a chance to write a new one, and that's a win at home.
Yeah, certainly so. And you take a look at the team overall. It's exciting coming in off a victory and a great crowd on hand. I mean, you look just in front of us. I mean, it is jam-packed down the 25-yard line through the 15 on each side. And that's always fantastic to see. And a big crowd can bring a lot of good things with it, and especially in the game of football, when you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're kind of that, talk about it, the 12th man, Texas A&M, some people say about the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, it exists. It really is an extra boost when you're on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, without a doubt. And to come to midfield here for the coin toss is going to be a familiar face within the Oilers organization. Of course, Bobby York Sr. and Bobby York Jr. with York Plumbing to We'll do our ceremonial coin toss here at midfield on the Oilers logo, as the Oilers won the coin toss in their home opener, I believe, against Quad City. Now, that was a loss where the Oilers gave up the most points they've given up all season long. A very good Steam Wheelers team in Quad City for sure. And they'll actually see Quad City again one more time at home this year. So do not travel on the road for that game if you're a fan. It'll be here against what is the Quad City Steam Wheelers later on. That's July 15th, the last regular season game of the year.
Yeah, it seems like a long distance away from now as we're sitting here, but we're almost in May, which is wild to think. And before you know it, Quad City will be back here for their second game on the road at the BOK Center, and they'll be more than likely facing a very different team than they faced in the third week of the season here after that Duke City and Frisco games opening up on the road.
Yeah, without a doubt. And one of those pieces that we saw in that game against Quad City the last time the Oilers were on at home was, well, Damian May. Yeah. Now the Oilers' backup quarterback, and who was the backup in Quad City not long ago before this. So certainly a full circle for Damian May, who last time he was on this field was scoring the 68th point for Quad City in that effort for sure. So we're almost ready to go. The mascot Goldie for the Oilers is getting the crowd revved up and ready to go, as it will be Tulsa to kick off. Of course, for those listening on radio on the Blitz, the Oilers will be going right to left, the Rattlers left to right to start in the first quarter. It is the Rattlers, and I'm not even really sure what you call that orange color. It's almost a double, yeah, refried beans, and then you've got double orange, and that's what it is. But I love the color, and it's on the helmets and the socks with black pants and white jerseys for Arizona. The Oilers, all black, here today at home. Black helmet, black jerseys, black socks. Jeremy Reynolds, the kicker for the Oilers, sends this off, and we're underway. A squib kick here, bouncing up into the crowd at about the 13-yard line in Arizona's territory. So that is how we will start this game. Ball will be placed where it went out of bounds.
That's probably a good kick, especially if you're worried about a return right off the hop. And don't give them that opportunity. We've seen plenty of housed touchdown returns. Of course, it's not 11 on 11 when you're screaming down on that initial chance. Couple of missed tackles, and somebody's gone just like that.
Without a doubt.
Saw Berto Tut do it for the first time in Oilers history on the road in Iowa on that win.
Arizona will start at about the 11-yard line, actually, as Reyna will drop back, looks over to his right, has a man, and it's a catch right out of the gate for almost all that they need for a first down to begin. What is the start of this game? Receiving that ball was Morian Walker Jr., the running back, 6'2", 215 pounds. He's tough to take down for sure. He's going to be part of that game that head coach Marvin Jones talked about when he sort of sighed at the end of that interview, saying, we got to stop the run. It is important, and he knows he's been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, and seemed like a threat underneath as well, right off the hop. He's going to be someone you got to be tuned in on every play.
So first down, sets up the next play, overthrown by Reyna.
You know, that's the risk you take by throwing the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, kind of on what is a spot pass, essentially throwing to a spot more so than maybe throwing to a particular receiver.
Yeah.
And just out of the reach of his intended target was Reyna.
And a couple of tough snaps here off the bat, too, that Reyna's had to deal with. He's 6 foot tall. He's 200 pounds. He can move, and he can be a part of that run game when you let him. But the Rattlers are going to try to threaten deep with some really hot receivers as of late. Run play out to the left. Stopped by the Oilers all the way down. Short of the 20-yard line. Trey Harvey and everybody in company involved with that tackle as it's third down and about 11. They might spot him right back at the line of scrimmage instead. So 3rd and 10 is what it looks like. And this Oilers defense, well, they stopped the run.
Yeah, when we talked about in the pregame, it's important, and penetration, especially in indoor football, is so important. You know, you don't want to get caught inside of a trap on the offensive line, but, I mean, you just really have to go after the ball carrier when you're dealing with limited field space and limited amount of players. And we saw that just there.
Arizona with Receivers in motion on the right. Reyna looks on third down. Stampering, has to step up. Has some room to run. Reyna steps by and gets about half of what he needs back up the middle of the field.
Tackle made there by Jordan Jones.
Jordan Jones comes up with this stop. He's a dominant force on the defensive side. You just have to rein him in a bit, as he's already been suspended one game this year for 2 unsportsmanlike conduct. He's one of the nicest guys off of the field you can ask for, but he's certainly fiery once he's inside of those 50-yard lines for sure.
Now, this was a situation that with Gabe Gruey in Iowa, we would see maybe a field goal attempt from there because he had the leg for it.
Right.
You probably won't see that in most games, and here we go, seeing it here.
4th down and 7. It is Reyna in the shotgun. Receivers moving to his left. They're going to go for it here. They need 7 at minimum. Firing over the middle, a wide open receiver, and it's a touchdown. Blown coverage in the secondary allows an easy pitch and catch. Isaiah Huston, somebody we talked about in the pregame, adds to his hot streak. Here it's now 3 weeks in a row being dominant to start games, and it's his 6th touchdown in as little as 3 weeks here. It's a 6-0 start for the Rattlers.
Yeah, averaging to go full length to a game, and it's been one of those plays that, well, as you mentioned it, simple pitch and catch off the blown coverage.
Certainly so, as we will see Craig Peterson to kick. Peterson with the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Peterson will make it a 7-0 start here for the Rattlers to begin the opening quarter. The Oilers will get the ball for the first time here today, right after. And this is going to be, well, really a very important response, right? We talked about how the first quarter is a difficult quarter for the Oilers this year. As you see Taylor Hawkins talking with head coach Marvin Jones, who's also the defensive coordinator for this team, and just discussing just why that was really one of the best starts you could have asked for and turned into, well, one of the worst starts you could have asked for the Oilers in a 7-0 deficit here on 4th and 7. That play was made.
Yeah, and now you have to turn to the offense and say, hey, we have to answer here and put it back to where we were to begin this game at a level contest. And I mean, it is as simple as that. There's a lot of score trading in this game, and we witnessed it live and in person in Iowa. And with that, just got to have to get a couple of stops. It wasn't on that first drive, but you can't get too disheartened by that overall.
Without a doubt, with it being 7-0, the Oilers will have their return unit back. It is Joshua Crockett who leads this team in receiving touchdowns. On the left side, Brito Tutt, who has a kickoff return for a touchdown, the first in franchise history just a week ago. So a lot of threats on the field here for the Oilers off this kickoff. It's sent high into the air. It might be a deuce right out of the gate. Is it? And it is no good. So the Oilers will get their first possession here, staying 7-0. Ball will start at the 20-yard line, and it is going to be Vincent Espinoza, who dominated last week, without a doubt, and Damian May, who helped out a ton in the receiving corps as another big piece to this offense. Espinoza will get the start at quarterback. Damian May, the backup quarterback, will be in the receiving corps on the left side, and everybody else in company here. Espinoza by himself in the backfield. Ball at the 20 for Tulsa on their first drive. Espinoza gets the ball out. Quick flag is on the play. Crockett, a one-on-one battle, and he's dragged down. No flag there in the secondary, but there's a flag on the field right out of the gate. My question is, the play seemed to have continued. Was that a defensive foul, or did we get something early on the offensive line?
Yeah, you would hope it. You know, there was a couple of plays where it looked like Arizona picked up false starts. In fact,
So it is going to be 2 fouls on the defense. Repeat first down and a 5-yard penalty moving on up to midfield for Tulsa. So a good start here for the Oilers offense, but not due to their own effort per se. A mistake on Arizona's side. Same formatted setup here on this next play. Repeating first down. Vincent Espinoza moves his receivers on the right in motion. Quickly snaps this one out. Low throw and a wobbly one is dropped by Alexis Rosario. A bad throw there from Espinoza to start. Just got to get those jitters out and make sure that spiral's tight.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make sure you're putting it on a wire over to your receiver. Make it easier on them. They're going to try and make it as easy as possible on you. And early on in the game, jitters, as you mentioned, are something that really can affect the overall outcome. You just got to make sure that you've got everything to a T down and figured out.
Espinoza will have a running back in the backfield with him this time. A handoff to the right side. Bursting his way ahead is Joel Shaw. He picks up his first play and touch in his Oilers career and finds a way to pick up some good yards. He gets the first down for Tulsa. That penalty now comes into play in that regard as the Oilers move the chains.
Yeah, it's nice to see Shaw was very aware of where the marker was when he was driving forward to make that dive to get to the first down marker. And that's really all you can ask for from a running back.
Joel Shaw, he was in the IFL not long ago with the Spokane Shock. As there's a quick out route right out of the gate, caught here by Damian May on the right side. He picks up about 5 again. And Joel Shaw, the new running back for the Oilers, of course, he formerly played at Kent State to finish his college career. Just as well, he's a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native. And makes his way here to Tulsa and Green Country to make contributions and picks up a first down. Damian May helps get things to 2nd and 5. Espinoza will have Joel Shaw to his right in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to his left, one being Damian May on the right. 2 in motion. Espinoza looks, pump fakes, takes off. He's all the way. Espinoza into the end zone, a touchdown. It's his first in this building, and a flag is on the play. However, will it bring it all the way back is the question, as we'll get an answer here soon. But Espinoza fired his way out of that pocket and got in the end zone, no problem. His speed on display. Illegal defensive formation, and the Oilers will have a response in the end zone. It's a touchdown for Espinoza on the ground, and an extra point is all that separates this game from being tied at 7.
We saw Espinoza use his legs in Iowa more so to keep the play extended and to keep the play alive before chucking the ball down the field. Here, we see him seriously take off on his own. That's a huge factor. There's got to be some confidence from head coach Marvin Jones as well, seeing that.
Without a doubt. Reynolds puts this one up and wide. So it is going to be an Arizona Rattlers lead still, as we see ourselves in a 7-6 scenario, as we'll head to break, and we'll be right back just after this. It is the Oilers down 7-6 after 1 possession for each team.
Get ready for some hard-hitting indoor football action with the Tulsa Oilers. Don't miss the excitement at the BOK Center on Saturday, May 13th at 7:05 as the Tulsa Oilers take on the Frisco Fighters. Whether you're a diehard football fan or just looking for a thrilling night out, the Tulsa Oilers have got you covered. And with season tickets starting at just $9 per month, there's no excuse not to come out and support your team. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of Tulsa Oilers football.
We at the IFL and our teams have always been involved in supporting the communities that support us. We have been honored to be able to help raise funds for local charities and schools. We've had opportunities to rightfully honor the first responders, the military, teachers, and other heroes of our communities. Our primary focus has been and will continue to be the youth in our local schools and programs. Our players have worked with them on the field of play, read with them in the classroom, and simply spent time with them as friends. We will continue these efforts, but feel it's time to bring nutrition into the fold. Build Your Base is the perfect partner for this edition. For the past 5 years, the Build Your Base program has been educating and empowering youth, high school, and college athletes to leverage the power of nutrition to support good health and athletic performance. Build Your Base will help us include a nutrition-based message into our time with local youth. We'll hold game time events in multiple communities throughout the 2023 season. Events will feature players visiting with local youth to play, visit, and have fun, all while teaching them about food, exercise, and nutrition. In 2023, look for game time events near you, as well as shared information about good health, good food, and good fun. Build Your Base will not just be the IFL's partner. Build Your Base will be our partner in our communities.
Get ready for some hard-hitting indoor football action with the Tulsa Oilers. Don't miss the excitement at the BOK Center on Saturday, May 13th at 7:05 as the Tulsa Oilers take on the Frisco Fighters. Whether you're a diehard football fan or just looking for a thrilling night out, the Tulsa Oilers have got you covered. And with season tickets starting at just $9 per month, there's no excuse not to come out and support your team. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of Tulsa Oilers football.
Welcome back. Just under a couple of minutes away from getting everything really set for second half football here from the BOK Center in downtown Tulsa. The Oilers are down 30-20 at half to the Arizona Rattlers. It's the first ever all-time meeting between these two teams. Of course, this being the first year in franchise history for the Oilers. We go all the way back to July of a while ago. Just last year, this team was getting put together, and now it is on the field for sure. 1-3 so far this year. We had a couple of games on Friday night in the IFL, Zach. Let's first go over those two games on Friday night. The Iowa Barnstormers and the Massachusetts Pirates, and, of course, the Northern Arizona Wranglers and the Vegas Nighthawks. An interesting one between those two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Iowa, the team that the Oilers played last week in Des Moines, they travel out to Worcester, Massachusetts, and take on the Massachusetts Pirates. 56-36 victory for the Pirates, therefore dropping down the Barnstormers 0-5, but also allowing the Pirates to reach 3-2. The other game from Friday, 36-27 victory for the Northern Arizona Wranglers, who the Oilers will play over the Vegas Nighthawks, and the Oilers will see them on the road in the month of May, just about a couple of weeks away from right now. And so that NAU team, or not NAU, NAW team, obviously picking up some good points in their own regard, getting another win. That Vegas Nighthawks team, of course, with a hockey tie, they are based out there in Henderson, play out of the same arena as the Silver Knights do, and they're owned by the Vegas Golden Knights, who also own Chelsea FC now in the Premier League.
They do.
And so a lot of money going on, but a big game. Of course, the Oilers will see the Sioux City Storm next week on the road. Well, they're up over Quad City 25-21 right now, and that obviously bodes heavily into what will be going on next week. This game very close, as is that one, and both teams probably coming off close games.
Big play here right off of the top of the opening kickoff. An onside kick attempt for the Rattlers fails. And the Oilers pick up great field position here to start the second half, as that was an eventful start. Illegal blindside block penalty is enforced.
From the end of the last half, yeah.
The end of the last half, because you can't put 15 yards on that play because the Oilers are inside the 15.
Yeah.
It's just half the distance now to the goal.
Interesting enough, that's the second game in a row where we have seen a team try and pop up early in the second half with an onside kick. Iowa with Gabriel Rui. I mean,
Diddy tried it as well in that first road game for the Oilers.
Yeah, and Kansas,
second road game.
Yeah, Kansas City, or not Kansas City, but with Gabriel Rui. I mean, he used to do onside kicks at Kansas all the time.
Right.
And so he was someone built for that, and then now we see here.
Espinoza will look to his right here in the first play, steps up, fires well, wide, and out of the back of the end zone, plays it safe there. Second down and 7 to go to the goal line as it's second and goal.
Yeah, I think that's the right play in that situation. I mean, there really was nobody open. You have such good field position and you got downs to go. Why force something, right?
Right, second down and plenty of time.
Yeah, I'll chuck it away. Live to fight another day, right?
Espinoza, we'll see if he maybe gets back to using his legs. He does have a rushing touchdown already in this game. Ball is on the 7-yard line, second down. Oilers down by 10 to start the half. Here they've got the ball. Fires over to Damian Mays, shuffles his way inside the 5. Might have reached to get to the 4, but at minimum he's at the 5-yard line. Now it's going to be third down and 5 to go to the goal line.
A very shifty move made. Probably picked up an extra yard in the process. But now you're up against the kibosh, right?
Penalty on the defense. It is going to be an illegal tackle here by Javon Jackson. So, the Oilers, advantageous here. Gets the ball half the distance. 3-yard line, 2.5-yard line that is here. Ball technically on the 3.
You replay the down as well, which is just as important. Automatic first down. Excuse me. My apologies.
Here. It'll be Joel Shaw to the left of Vincent Espinoza in the backfield. 30-20, just a 10-point game. The Oilers looking to erase the deficit to start the half. Espinoza fires, lobs one, easy touchdown. It is Josh Crockett, his second of the game. It's a 30-26 score.
You saw him see that ball and just know it's coming into his hands because he is the option when it comes to the passing game, and he's wide open. No-brainer. Chuck it to him, see what happens, and we see Crockett come up with the ball, head down, and like you said, erase that deficit early here in the half. I mean, if you look at it, not much different from when Hutt took the touchdown back to the house.
Right. You are exactly right. Very quick starts to the second half, back-to-back weeks in a row to try to get some momentum and a comeback effort. Reynolds, he's starting to dial it in the kicking position as well as he puts it right down the middle, 30-27. 12 minutes and 40 seconds remain here in the third quarter, and it's a opening drive touchdown for the Oilers. The onside kick, well, there's risk with that. The risk certainly was applied. No insurance on it for the Rattlers, however, as it's 30-27. The only insurance you could say they have is still a 3-point lead.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an entirely different game right off the hop. If you don't score on that opening drive, especially where you have the ball, even if it's a field goal, we talked about it earlier, right? It feels like a win for the defense. You know, hey, we held them to 3. We're good. We're still up. Situation like that, a lot different.
Certainly so. Now a 3-point game all of a sudden. And again, Oilers fans, don't forget, Genghis Grill is here. At Genghis Grill, we're the bowl experts, and you always score big. Create your perfect, fresh, grilled-to-order bowl from over 80 of the finest sauces, hand-chopped veggies, bold spices, premium proteins, and more. Or let our chefs do all the work and order right from the table. Genghis Grill is America's favorite fresh bowl spot. Now open in the Post Rock Plaza in Bixby, Oklahoma. Order online or from the Genghis Grill app today. Reynolds is set to send this one away in a 3-point game. He'll do so. It's a line drive, skipping at about the 7-yard line, rolling awkwardly all the way to the back wall, as the Oilers will pin this deep. Tripping on the return and falling inside of the 5 was Isaiah Hudson. And the Oilers now have massive momentum here in this building, recognizing that things are falling their way.
Yeah, you look at Reynolds, he did it last week in Iowa with that squib kick that forced player deep. Obviously, there was an injury to Trey King on the play. But you look at his ability to bounce that off the back wall and skip it through the end zone. I mean, that's something that I think is a real asset to a team, especially when you're down.
Best asset,
Yeah.
the kicker, without a doubt, because he really proved that
Absolutely.
it was effective against Iowa a week ago. Reyna will pump fake, fires to his right through the hands of his intended receiver, Jamal Miles. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Go back to the Genghis Grill as well, though. I am somebody that can really crush some fresh bowl Mongolian grill. I'll tell you that right now.
After working a whole game, they do,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
boy.
buddy. In fact, I already know what I'm doing Sunday.
There you go.
Just crushing
Get
Genghis
yourself
Grill.
to Bixby and get to Genghis Grill. Reyna on 2nd and 10 has nobody in the backfield with him. 2 receivers in motion, 1 on the other side of him. Reyna, he wants to lob over the middle. Nobody's there. In fact, Brito Tutt might have had a chance to get a hand on it for a moment. But the miscommunication makes it 3rd and 10, and Arizona's got to dial in quick. Otherwise, this building, who's already turned on them from the beginning, is going to turn on them even more.
Absolutely, and that's that big boost you get from the heavy crowd, right? And I think a lot of people underestimate that. You know, you talk about, hey, I want to be that kind of fan that makes it better for the game. Well, be loud, be proud, and you can.
Receivers on the right in motion. Reyna looks up the middle, has to step up. He's sacked at the 1. Gibson Zia. He's got over 3 sacks now this year. A flag is on the play. And it could have ruined what the Oilers have done here. We'll see. Unsportsmanlike call. It'll stay 4th down. Barely getting out of the end zone was Reyna on that chance. That's the 2nd opportunity for the Oilers this year to get a sack. They completed 1. Eric Sadler picked up a sack
It's 4th down, ladies and gentlemen.
earlier in the end zone this year. It's going to be Peterson to kick from about 3/4 of the way into the end zone in his own end. Brito Tutt is back to return if it's possible for him. I would not have a doubt that Peterson is going to send this one into the stands wide. Get ready to grab a ball, someone. He actually attempts it, though, and it goes just short. Boy, don't doubt a kicker as a broadcaster for sure.
Gracious.
You just about put that in. There was a whistle, however, right before. False start. Half the distance to the goal, and there's really not much more to put it back.
A lot of guys putting up the safety symbol with the fact that I think they maybe think they can go after that ball here now.
They might be able to. Peterson.
That's 6 inches is a lot, right? I mean, it really is when you're a defensive player.
Peterson missed the field goal attempt before the whistle as he followed through with it. He was short. I can't imagine him getting any more leg than he did. But we'll see if they attempt it. It could be a scenario. So the field goal will be from the 4-yard line. It is legal in the IFL if you're backed up that far where there's literally no room for your kicker to get any start to move the ball up. So, of course, they'll do so. Reyna will have a chance here. To have his drive saved by Peterson, the kicker. The kick is up. It is going to be short again, well short. Brito Tutt's going to return it from his own end zone. In a 3-point game, Tutt steps up to the middle, goes to the left now, getting towards midfield. It's a flag on the play. Tutt is down at about the 23-yard line, and what is this flag going to be?
Interested to see what the call is.
Our officials huddle up and make sure they have the right call first.
I would think it's against the Oilers based off the initial hand motion, but it could be wrong.
Holding on Trey Harvey on the receiving team, so that is going to be so forward 5 yards, however, after the penalty for the false start in effect because the ball was moved up to the 4 for
True.
Rattlers.
Yeah.
So here you go. 14-yard line. Tulsa starts this drive. And the ball is got a mind of its own with all these penalties, doing all the work moving itself. So
it's like the rest probably have a scorecard like it's a game of golf, right?
there you go. Right. Espinoza moves his receivers in motion on the right side. He flares his eyes over there. Thrown and just deflected and incomplete. Damian May really had to fight for that. Up in the air with Anderson, the defensive back. And it was really a jump ball for a moment. 2nd and 10.
Getting right back at it, of course. First down is always a time to take risks. We saw Damian May almost finding himself open, even off the deflection. It almost seemed like there was a second opportunity live, although it would have been a miraculous play for it to happen. But now Espinoza still only at second down here, and with a shorter field, it's not too bad.
It is a jet sweep out to the right, and it's going to be Damian May to pick up a few yards. About 4 is what he'll get. So it'll be 3rd down and about 6. That's manageable for sure, and especially if you can just get this game tied up with a kick from Reynolds. He really didn't get a chance to show his leg very much at all. 0 for 2 in field goal attempts last week, but sort of kicking a couple of those out of bounds on purpose, of course, in that game just as well. So Reynolds, who has been really a part of the offense in a major way through the first 3 weeks, could come up large here if needed on a 4th down scenario. 3rd and 7 ultimately is what's going to be the scenario.
It seems like Damian May is also a player that they want to get involved in the game here.
Yeah, no doubt. Espinoza is pressured outside of the pocket, and he just has to throw this one away, basically. And it'll be 4th down. What do the Oilers want to do? They'll bring out the kicking unit in Jeremy Reynolds, and this is going to be a massive field goal here.
Right.
In what has been really a tight game ever since halfway through the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, exactly. Arizona off to a hot start. We talked about how a start is important, but now here you are, right, in the second half, got a chance to tie the game up.
Joshua Crockett is the holder. He's been that in that role all year long. He's got a couple of touchdowns here today in the receiving department. He'll try to help Jeremy Reynolds get a field goal in this department. Ball is down. Reynolds, his kick, line drive, is it in? Reynolds puts it through, and it's a tie game.
Unbelievable. Being able to drive that from that distance is fantastic to see. And, I mean, you mentioned it, down the middle, line drive, he did it. I mean, that was textbook, and just like that, it's a tie game. I mean, we are knotted up even now.
It has not been tied since the opening kickoff in this game and the opening scoring drive for the Rattlers. As a missed extra point after the response touchdown for the Oilers made it 7-6. This is the first time they've got it knotted up again. As we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this. It's tied up at 30. You're listening and watching Tulsa Oilers football on the Blitz, Channel 3, and YouTube.
Get ready for some hard-hitting indoor football action with the Tulsa Oilers. Don't miss the excitement at the BOK Center on Saturday, May 13th at 7:05 as the Tulsa Oilers take on the Frisco Fighters. Whether you're a diehard football fan or just looking for a thrilling night out, the Tulsa Oilers have got you covered. And with season tickets starting at just $9 per month, there's no excuse not to come out and support your team. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of Tulsa Oilers football.
Medicine doctor near you. That's 918-599.
Winner, but tempers are ultimately calmed here as it's an intense one in the fourth quarter. 9:33 remains in regulation. We thank you for joining us here on the Blitz as well as Channel 3 and YouTube for this edition of the Indoor Football League and Tulsa Oilers football. Reynolds off the kickoff here. We'll have this one fielded about the 2-yard line off of the kick. It might be returned for quite a bit up against the wall. Ultimately a penalty and a flag thrown as the return gets all the way close to the 20-yard line in Oilers territory by Dylan Winfrey. But this flag could have a lot to do with something here. Let's check in and see what we've got. Holding is what it'll be by Justin Thomas on the receiving team. So it'll bring things back. You're all the way to the 14-yard line in Arizona territory. So that's a huge difference for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that penalty is a huge one to take during the infractor. Got to feel bad going back to your bench, especially with how tight this game is, just underneath the Tulsa area code and time left.
Arizona will throw quickly on first down. A big catch there made for about 5 yards to start. 2nd down and 5.
You got to try and keep them at bay here. You can't let them score anything more than a field goal, in my opinion, with how quickly they're able to respond, especially with just 8:40 left on the clock.
8:35 and counting now. 2nd down and 4 ultimately is what it's going to be. 2 receivers in motion. Reyna looks back, fires quickly again to the left side, and it's caught again. And it's going to be a 1st down, just about a yard past the sticks they needed.
Yeah, the forward motion there really helping out in that scenario, and correct call, but it's always tough to watch happen live when you think you got someone wrapped up pretty close to.
And Hines fixes the proof rapid.
Reyna, and the offense will be at midfield with 1st and 10. In motion. Quickly stepping back, firing over to the right side. Walker is going to pick up about 4, maybe 5. Here on 1st down. So it's just this short yardage play here, this safe play right now that Arizona wants to stick with. I think that can lull a defense in to maybe taking a shot at the end zone here, and maybe a scenario like right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're killing time off the clock. I mean, it's a run clock game. You're looking at 7:20 remaining now. Pick up 5 here, 5 there, 5 here, 5 there. Go deep. Next thing you know, you're up by 10 points. And that's probably what Arizona's thinking here.
Arizona on 2nd down, a catch, reversing play all the way out to the right side. It's a 1st down to the 10-yard line. Arizona's finding their game offensively now, and that could be dangerous here in a 3-point lead already for the Rattlers. They could all of a sudden have their 10-point lead back that they had long ago in the game.
Exactly. And that's what we're talking about. 2 possession, and they're gonna be killing off as much time as they can here. They're not gonna really hurry up, that's for sure. Then every granule of sand that gets past the hourglass here certainly makes you a bit more nervous.
well offside there, without a doubt, it seemed, on first down, but no call. Second down upcoming here on a pickup of just a few.
If you're the defense, you really gotta buckle down here because with 6 minutes left, less than by the time the ball is snapped. I mean, the QB clock hasn't even started running yet. It's going to be tough to take up 10 points when you know you're going to have to give the ball up the other way.
Ball is at the 5-yard line. 5 minutes and 42 seconds left. This really becomes crucial here right now because you're only going to get maybe 2 to 3 more possessions at most in this game if that's really going positively your way. Pitched out wide to Walker. He just gets inside the 5, but not to the end zone. Third down now, and if you can hold this team just one more play, all of a sudden it's still a one-possession game if you force them to kick a field.
Right, exactly. That's where you talk about that defensive side. I mean, 3rd and 3, hold them off here. Big difference.
Third down and 3 yards to go to get into the end zone for Arizona. Massive play upcoming in this game. 4:56 left. Arizona fires, tipped up into the air, into the crowd. 4th down and 3. You can bury the game potentially here, in your opinion, if you're Arizona, if you go for it and you get it. Or do you just make it a 6-point game? It seems as if they'll stay on the field.
I'm a little surprised by that decision, to be honest.
Big play upcoming.
You're talking about a sport in which field goals, now they
Never
have to
mind.
come out.
They will bring the kicking unit out. So even though
you're
there
talking
seemed to be
about
a play relay to Reyna, it was not.
You're talking about field goals from your own 10, right? And what that brings to the table with it. Now, if he misses field goal, it's even different, right?
Without a doubt. And there's been extra points missed in this game.
Yeah.
And it's from the same distance just about.
Yeah,
so
almost to the T.
Ball is up, and it is good. So it is a 6-point game now, but that is about as big of a win as it gets defensively for Tulsa in this game at this point. It is now still a one-possession game, and you haven't had a problem necessarily getting into the end zone here if you're the other today. So it's not like you've had to solely rely on the leg of Reynolds for offense, but he has picked it up as of late, helping the others get 6 points as of late.
Yeah, and you know, you look at those 2 missed extra points. Well, at this point, they don't really matter because it's not like you could tie the game with a field goal.
It'd have to be a drop kick scenario, which is a wacky scenario in the IFL that we haven't really seen yet.
Yeah. And like you said, you just have to rely on your offense here. You know, you get to the end zone. You've done it multiple times tonight. Just get it done. That's all it's going to take.
Let's come on now.
It is this Tulsa crowd recognizing the moment, and that's the most important part before the kickoff.
Absolutely. What a great crowd we've had on hand all night.
Over 10,000 in this crowd here today. 3:56 left on the clock, and a chance to be heroes here at home for the first time ever. Some big players and big key plays have been made in this game. Joshua Crockett, again, he averages almost 13 yards a catch in this game. He's got 38 on the game, 2 touchdowns. Damian May has 31 yards with a touchdown today, along with Shaw, who's scored. You've got Kelvin Jenkins with a fumble recovery on the defensive side of the ball, who's been great. But these last 3:56 are, going to tell the biggest story. Crockett is going to return this one. He gets it out to wide to the right side, breaks one tackle out to the 20, about the 22-yard line, and he takes your breath away for a moment when he gets space. Barely missed another chance to break one out.
Basically brings it to midfield, which is great to see. And now you got just under 4 minutes to get things rolling again. And then you would hope that you pull a lot of time off the clock here. If you don't, you'd rather it be a very quick touchdown. It's always in that awkward time space.
Ball is at the 23 ultimately to start the drive. 1st and 10. Espinoza is by himself in the backfield. Joel Shaw out to the left side. 2 receivers out wide to the right. Espinoza looks to his right. Rosario had the catch easily, but a flag ends the play before it can really get going. It's going to be on the offense, it seems here, and it's going to probably be a false start. Illegal motion here will bring it back 5 yards, 1st and 15. So not the end of the world, but you are sitting at the 18-yard line now, and a pickup like we almost saw from Rosario could just make all the difference here on this next play.
Yeah, exactly. If that play's available down the line here, it's not the end of the world, right? And yeah, you burn 5 yards, but you don't burn it down. And now there's 3:11 left. I mean, is it really the end of the world to take that penalty? Maybe not.
Motion on the right side. It's Espinoza to look up the middle now. Floats one. Joel Shaw had it knocked away at the last moment. He was the only one that saw it during the play, but bodies and hands got in the way and deflected it. Incomplete, 2nd and 15. Now, you really have no time left to make mistakes. Got to really start this drive and get it going now.
Yeah, you really do have to get things burning here. 2nd down again, 2:37 remaining. You look at it in regards as a team, hey, let's get it going here. Let's get it fired up to make a couple of big plays here. We got a lot of space to make for a 1st down. Once we get that, it's an entirely different game.
Espinoza takes this snap, rolls out to the right, handles himself in the pocket. One-on-one battle back in the end zone. Touchdown! Oh, what a catch made! It's Joshua Crockett again. His 3rd of the night. Give him the hat trick.
Well, the Pirate pierced it all. The man from Bristol, just west of Tulsa, finds his way into the end zone, and you mentioned it, one-on-one. You can't ask for much more. What do you want to do late in the game? Find your best player. Who's been your best player all year? Joshua Crockett. And then once again, high points it, comes in, holds on while hitting the wall. What a great touchdown to give your team a chance at the lead here late in the 4th quarter. If you're Reynolds, you want to take as long of a chance. It's only a 10-second clock on the kick.
Kick is no good, it looks like, here on the extra point, so the Oilers cannot get the lead. Ultimately, 1:22 left here, and it's a tie game. Boy, a big missed field goal there, extra point that is there. But hey, we've got a game all of a sudden again. The Oilers responded most importantly with a touchdown and tied the game up. Both teams with plenty of timeouts, in fact, all 3.
The fact is now there's a chance of that. Well, either way, there's a chance of the field goal. Now the field goal gives you the lead instead of a tie game.
And it's a scenario, too, where if you're Jeremy Reynolds, who knows if he tried the deuce at this point as well.
Yeah.
It has not been on the formula for the Oilers in this game. You can still take the lead with the uniqueness and brilliance of this sport. But Reynolds, with the way that he's been pinning this offense deep, might go to what is safest and most effective here. Ball on the ground and ball rolling to the back of the end zone if he can get it there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the move. He been successful on the squib all game. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And where he's based off now, I think that maybe that squib's going to be coming here.
I think so. He's to the right side here of the hashes, where he's been most of the game. With 1 minute and 22 seconds left in regulation, Reynolds will send it high up into the air, out of the back of the end zone. So he may have been trying for that deuce there. He just got it well right. So Arizona is going to have for a 1st down and good field position here. So the ball's going to be at the 20-yard line to start this drive for the Rattlers. We're looking to respond from a loss just 1 week ago. We talked about it. It's a motivated Rattlers group coming into Tulsa today. It's back-to-back Eastern Conference matchups for Arizona in particular, as they took on Frisco just a week ago. A 52-42 loss, so they're in all of these games. Like we said, despite having a 2-3 record coming in, they have a +1 scoring margin. They're in games all the time. 46-46, a minute left here. Ball is loose. Picking that one up is the lineman Adrian Fernandez. Boy, that was close to being almost a football move with possession for a fumble. 1 minute warning is going to be on the board.
Arizona has
Media timeout. We'll take a break. Tie game. 1 minute left on the clock. It's going to be the longest minute of our lives when we come back. We'll be right back here on the Blitz, Channel 3, and YouTube.
Get ready for some hard-hitting indoor football action with the Tulsa Oilers. Don't miss the excitement at the BOK Center on Saturday, May 13th at 7:05 as the Tulsa Oilers take on the Frisco Fighters. Whether you're a die-hard football fan or just looking for a thrilling night out, the Tulsa Oilers have got you covered. And with season tickets starting at just $9 per month, there's no excuse not to come out and support your team. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of Tulsa Oilers football.
Slight advantage.
Back from break. We are underway here with 1 minute left in the game as the Rattlers pick up a large passing play for about 15 yards to get all the way inside the 15 of the Oilers zone.
What do you got, Tulsa?
Over 15 yards on the pickup. 55 seconds left. Ball is at the 12 in Tulsa territory. The Oilers looking for their biggest defensive stand since, well, moments ago in this game when they stopped the Rattlers inside the 5 and forced a field goal. That's why the game's tied right now. Reyna with a running back to his right. Everyone in motion. Handoff to the right. Walker finds some space. He'll slip and fall down. However, he won't get much of anything. In fact, might have just picked up inches there. Second down and basically 10.
Yeah, now the clock's rolling. It's a tough decision to take as a coach.
Timeout Tulsa, as head coach Marvin Jones is going to use his timeouts here on defense. At least this first one, that is. And most likely means he's going to try to use his timeouts on defense here for the remainder of this series, in particular within this drive. That's a big stop on the run. Next home game for your Oilers, as you see, is going to be Saturday, May 13th against the Frisco Fighters. The first time the Oilers will see the Fighters at home. They've already seen them once in the opening game in franchise history back on May 24th, or March 24th, that was. So just a little shy of about a month later. Month and a half, that is. They will see them again. Second down and 8 coming out of this timeout is the scenario for the Rattlers. Kevin Guy is 158-38 as the head coach of the Rattlers. He averages about 14 wins a season here in his tenure, and he is a 2-3 team here today. He's trying to pull off a really tough road win. Screenplay swatted down. That close was Jordan Jones for an interception. And what was a dangerous screen pass thrown by Reyna, 3rd and 8.
Yeah, that's a pass you probably want to just chuck out of bounds if you're Reyna, but we look at the opportunity for the field goal upcoming. There's still a play before 4th down. I mean, this is about as tight as it gets.
Big 3rd down and 8. Ball's at the 10-yard line. They can get to the 2 for a first. whipping this one incomplete on the right side. A strong throw from Reyna, but pressure on him. Hawkins gives this celebration. It's 4th and 8.
And that means that the field goal kicking unit will come on.
They've got to get the lead. You're right.
Yeah, and with that, I mean, an incomplete pass versus a completed pass, I mean, that's a difference of eight yards. So the kicker, that's a ton. I mean, that's an eternity almost. Not that this isn't a super hard field goal to make, but
Right.
it's certainly not a Chichinga money ball, right?
It'll be loud in this building without a doubt. A massive field goal attempt from Peterson. Kicking from the Oilers 17. Sends it up, and it's right.
Wide right.
Down the middle. Peterson says it's right down the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's definitely a bit far off on that. That was wide from this angle. I mean, it was 15 feet wide. The fact that it ended up in the suite level should tell you that it wasn't between the pipes because it would have hit the net.
Arizona's going to challenge this field goal. Boy.
I really think it's more desperation than anything. I mean, watching that from this angle, it was so wide it wasn't even a question. But then again, it could be the angle I'm standing at. Could be a few different things.
It could be. 31 seconds remain in regulation here today. 46-46. It was a very high
Very
field
high,
give, right?
yeah.
I mean, that was about as high as the field goal gets.
I mean, the fact that it ended up not even in the loge boxes behind the net is a question in its own right.
Don't have the angle here for the TV cameras per se in the building. Head coach Marvin Jones is having a conversation with the officials as well. He's arguing his point. Big chance here in this game, I think, for either team. Look, if Arizona takes the lead here, it's still the Oilers with a chance to get themselves in field goal position, which is just about anywhere on this field for Reynolds right now.
It's hard to tell from the replay angle that we have here, but because the ball's not followed all the way through, but it looks like it's going wide right. On the replay. I mean, it's not the same camera group, but I mean,
We'll watch it here on the clip of just that sideline angle that we have in particular, and
looks like it's going wide right. Doesn't look like it's anywhere near the goalposts on the. I mean, if you zoom in on the goalpost, by the time the ref's putting up the no good, it's not even close. You can't even see it in the frame of the video. Then again, that's not the replay angle. But I don't think that's it. I mean, it is always really hard to tell unless you're directly underneath them. But I've seen a lot that I thought were a lot closer than that have been waved off.
it will be a close call here. A close call for everybody in this building right now, for sure. 31 seconds will be left regardless on the clock. So, again, with Reyna's leg, if they don't give him this, that is a turnover. If they do give him this, he can maybe try to add 2 more points on the deuce off the kickoff, and then you got to score a touchdown if you have others in the last 31 seconds. So I think the deuce will probably be the try for Arizona coming out of this if they do get the field goal. Is they're going to want to try to put it to bed and really force the Oilers not to have Reynolds to tie the game. Kick is no good after
he had his hands up. I mean, he wasn't even close. I don't understand really what he was. I get it, right? You take the kick and you felt it was money coming off your foot, but I mean, you can't even see it on the replay angle, and that was zoomed in on the goalpost. I mean, probably missed wide by 20 feet. I mean, it was a bad kick, and hey, I get it. Feels good on the connect. I think it probably felt good on the connect because he got a hold of it. I mean, there's a reason why he went over the netting, but not even close. But I also get the challenge in that situation. Why not, right?
It'll be the Oilers still with a chance to have to prove it here. 5-yard line of their own zone. It's 1st and 10, 31 seconds left. They've got to get this ball within field goal range realistically or end it with a touchdown. Espinoza, no turnovers here. Can be afforded as Damian May picks up a catch along the left sideline and is able to get the first down for a pickup of 11. That's a big chunk play right out of the gate. And honestly, Reynolds can probably finish it from here, but why not get more?
Yeah, you want to get more for sure. It's a doable field goal, but we've seen how finicky goalposts are indoors. Not playing into the ground. Hang from the ceiling. Makes it a little bit harder on you.
Espinoza with receivers on the right in motion. He'll take off on the ground, gets out wide to the left side, reaches for an extra couple of yards, and maybe picks up about 5 here on first down. 2nd and 5, 22 seconds left, chipping away for a chance with timeouts to try to win it, as Arizona's going to use all their timeouts for sure on defense here to try to get themselves in a winning position.
Both teams with a pair of them left during the final minute as well. We got that
Clock
stoppage in the final minute.
Espinoza,
possession at least.
2 receivers on the right in motion. He'll look to the right, fires this one well over the head of Damian May, just a little bit antsy on the throw.
He had the option deep as well, but I don't think that was really part of the play. I think that was to more so pull some defenders away from the underneath route.
3rd down and 6, but I can tell you this right now. The game is still in Arizona's hands, potentially on offense. If you think about this, don't get this converted on 3rd down. It's 4th down with plenty of time left in this game for, well, the Oilers to kick the potential go-ahead field goal, and then you have over 10 seconds on the clock for Arizona to try to do something themselves.
Yeah. You kind of want to pull some time off the clock here.
Espinoza will take the snap, looks to his right, has to step up, steps away from pressure, still looking for an open receiver, floats one down the sideline. Trey Harvey was interfered with, and the Oilers are going to get the pass interference call that could do in this game.
That's a defensive end, essentially, covering I guess you could say a tight end in Harvey. It was a mismatch, and you keep pace with him for only so much.
First down, 12 seconds left in regulation.
I mean, this is do or die time here. Inside the 15, what do you do? Do you just rush the ball up the middle? Try and get your kicker out there? What do you do? Kill some time off the clock? You go for the end zone here and really put the dagger in.
Tie game at 46, 12 seconds left. Espinoza looks to his right, floats one. It's picked up by Arizona. They'll get in the end zone. It is the Rattlers. Savon Lowry, the 6'3", 275-pound lineman, with an interception taken back to the end zone. 52-46 with just 4 seconds left on the clock. And it shocks the building in Tulsa.
Yeah, that's about the worst case scenario on that play. As we mentioned, you just run the ball up the middle, kill some time, kick the field goal. You go for the distance, and the game is dusted. Not a chance to come back now.
It'll be an extra point attempt. it's up. This one's good from Peterson, and it's a 53-46 game, and the Oilers have to have a miracle here with 4 seconds left on the clock.
It's a tough situation. You really don't have a shot to get back the other way. And a pick six is the worst scenario that you could think of in that play, and it's exactly what manifested itself. Like you said, if you kneel it there, you get the opportunity of the field goal, then they have 4 seconds to come back. Well, flip the script, a pick six, 4 seconds, you don't have enough time to get back the other way, it seems, unless you can house a touchdown return here.
Yeah, a lot of options here, you could say. And of course, now you have to get in the end zone, as you mentioned. And
get
there
the
is
extra
no,
point, yeah.
There is no let's just kick it right out of the gate scenario here, as the Oilers we'll see if they get a chance to return. And we've seen Crockett on 2 different occasions here have a chance to return a kickoff for a touchdown. He's just been shoestring struck in this game a couple of times. This will be the biggest one of the game for him if he gets a chance to return. Same thing for Brito Tutt, who already has a kickoff return for a touchdown this year. A heartbreak here in Tulsa, but 4 seconds left. Still has to tell the story a bit. Kickoff from Peterson, who feels justified in this game. Will send one low. It's off of the legs of Brito Tutt, who's going to have to return this one all the way back into the end zone. That's going to expire time, and that's going to do it here from Tulsa. The biggest play of the game, a pick six for Arizona on the last offensive possession and play of the game for Tulsa. Will end it 53-46 here tonight at the BOK Center. The Oilers fall to 1-4 on the season, 0-2 at home, and we'll talk about it here when we come back on the postgame show. It'll be quick, as we'll be right back after this break.
Get ready for some hard-hitting indoor football action with the Tulsa Oilers. Don't miss the excitement at the BOK Center on Saturday, May 13th at 7:05 as the Tulsa Oilers take on the Frisco Fighters. Whether you're a diehard football fan or just looking for a thrilling night out, the Tulsa Oilers have got you covered. And with season tickets starting at just $9 per month, there's no excuse not to come out and support your team. Get your tickets now at TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of Tulsa Oilers football.